I am so tired. Gotta love me that daylight savings time. I could not fall asleep last night because I was super wired, and then of course it felt like I was getting up at 6 a.m. this morning instead of my normal 7 a.m. So I'm like ready to conk out. Anyways, you don't care, you're just here for the makeup, I get it. So in today's video, we are going to be continuing our BH Cosmetics Gemstone series. And for those of you who don't know, BH Cosmetics is doing a little thing with their eyeshadow palettes where they release a new eyeshadow palette each month that corresponds with that month's gemstone. Did I say it right? So this is the third month that they're doing this. We've already seen Garnet and Amethyst, and Garnet just looks like this little red guy right here, and then Amethyst just looks like this. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about these palettes, I do have reviews on both of them, as I plan on making this a series every single month. And I will link the playlist in the cards, so go check it out after you're done watching this video. But in today's video, we are going to be focusing on Aquamarine for March. I tried to like be a little matchy-matchy here. So as you know, or may not know, these palettes retail for $9 a piece. And honestly, so far, I have found that price to be beyond reasonable. I feel like the two palettes that I've tried so far have been really good and well worth the $9. Like, seriously, they exceeded my expectations. So Aquamarine looks a little bit like this, and you have a little mirror that says you're looking like a dream, Aquamarine. So we do have 4 matte shades right in the middle. We have this one long shimmer shade, which I still don't know why they have to make that shade so ginormous and why they can't just split it up into 2 shades, but whatever. So we do have 2 shimmer shades, which is right there, and then pressed glitter. The other ones have pressed glitter in them as well, so I have a feeling we're probably going to be seeing pressed glitter in all of the palettes. I know some people really don't like those pressed glitters, so just keep that in mind. In a palette with only 7 shades, that might not be worth it for you, but I mean, I don't know, it's only $9, so even if you don't use that shade, I still think it's a pretty good deal. So okay, so just off the bat, when I think Aquamarine, I think like blues and greens kind of deal. So they do give you 2 blues, and I guess this is kind of like a blue-green shade. But I just wished for like one more like true green shade. Like to me, alright, this shade right here doesn't really make sense. This like brick sort of color. Like if you cover up this shade, I think the palette would look really pretty. Like look how pretty that would look. And can you imagine like a green, like maybe the color of my shirt in that place? Like, oh, that'd be so beautiful. I mean, you still have a pretty good transition shade in there. I mean, I get it. I guess maybe some people want a little bit of a darker color, but I don't know. I kind of just wish, that's just my only gripe. I wish they put like a nice little green minty shade in there or something like that. Like this. Like I said, you know, I don't know. It's Aquamarine. But other than that, I'm pretty satisfied with the color story. So without further ado, I'm going to pull you on in and we're going to play with this palette. So yes. My hair is like really staticky, so that's why I keep touching it, because it keeps like, anyways. Let's get into the makeup. Oh, okay. I look like I am literally naked, but I am not. So let's just pretend that you can see my shirt, okay? Okay. So just like in the other palette, the shade names corresponds to traits for that particular birthstone. So the big one is the name of the birthstone, which is Aquamarine. Then you have Affectionate, Daydreamer, Slightly Shy, Secretive, Big Heart, and Jet Setter. So we're going to take Affectionate, which is this kind of like colors. Do I know them? It's like a sandy sort of, oh, you see it. I don't need to tell you what it is. And we're just gonna put it all over as like a base shade. As a base shade. Cause, ooh, my eyes be needing that powder to be soaking up the oil. They look really oily and red. So for me, I like base shades for 4 reasons. I like it because, one, I feel like it just like brightens up the eyes a little bit. You know, can you see what I mean? Like, this looks a little bit more brighter than that side. I like it because, you know, sometimes it helps. Sometimes if you have like a more opaque base shade down, then the colors you put on top of it will tend to look a little bit more vibrant without actually affecting what the shade looks like. Like if I were to put down this brown shade and then put this blue right over it, then that's going to affect how this blue turns out. But with this shade, like, you almost can't see it. It's like almost the color of my skin. So it's really not going to impact it that much. It's like putting a white shade down and just makes the color look a little bit more vibrant. And then mostly I do it because I find it just helps soak up some of that excess oil I have on my lids, because I do have oily eyelids, and it helps cancel out some of that redness. So there's your spiel on why I chose that color as my base shade. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this beautiful baby blue Daydreamer shade, and I'm going to throw that up in the crease. You guys, can I tell you how long I've been searching for a shade like this? Oh, ooh, and this is actually a really good one. Because I've tried other light blue shades like this, thinking, this is it! This is finally the one! The blue I've been searching for! And then it's super disappointing. This one is actually really good. And a funny story is, I actually had a shade like this from another BH Cosmetics palette. It's one of their like large pans, and I was like, this is it! And it ended up being crap. So it's a pleasant surprise that this one is not crap. And can I just tell you a little bit, certainly went a long way, because that went like all the way up, all the way up. Now usually I like to blend out the shade or the shadow as one does, but this one, I don't know if you really need to. Yeah, I want to be careful because I don't really want to lose too much of that vibrancy that I have going on. Ooh. I really like that, to be honest. I think these palettes just keep getting better and better every month. Next month is Diamond, and I am super curious to see how they're going to do that one. Because when you think of a diamond, I think of like, okay, a shade like this they'll probably have. Like, can you see that? Like where it's multifaceted. And then they'll probably have like a white shade, maybe a gray shade. Like, what else can you really do for a diamond? So I'm like super curious. Comment down below what color shades you think they'll have in their diamond palette, because I'm excited to see it. Now in the outer crease, I'm going to put Slightly Shy. Okay, you'll see the swatch. I was going to swatch it out because I was curious, but I will include the swatches at the end like I always do. So this does look a little bit darker on the brush. Yeah, you definitely... Okay. So it's not really a blue-green. It's more like a black base with green... It's more like a black base with green glitters over it. Okay. Huh. Could see this shadow getting out of hand very quickly. It's a little bit patchy, like the pigmentation isn't all the way there. Now I'm just gonna blend that out. Yeah, when you blend it out, you do lose some of that dark base color, but it's kind of interesting because the glitters shine through a little bit more when you blend it out. So it's a trade-off. You know, you have to decide what do you want more. Do you want that black base, or do you want those beautiful glitters to shine through? Alright, you do get a little bit of fallout on that shade, but nothing too crazy. Alright, I feel like my eyes look really weird. Anyways. So I'm just saving the best shade for almost last. And that is this beautiful, beautiful shimmery aquamarine. I can't talk today. It's like, ugh, daylight savings brain. It is a beautiful aquamarine color. By the way, am I the only one whose car clock reads the right time for like 6-7 months out of the year? I am finally in that time of the year where my clock reads the right time. I like never change it in the fall time. I just, whatever, it can stay as it is to the spring. All right. All right, this looks a little bit more powdery and lighter than I would, oh. Well, I was gonna say it's a little lighter than I hope. That's really pretty. It is, well, I don't know. I don't know if I would say it's completely sheer. It's sheer-ish. Like, it's not opaque, but it's a little bit more pigmented than a topper, if that makes sense. That is beautiful. I love it. Just feels so frosty. I cannot say it enough. I just love how well the BH Cosmetics colors blend together. They just blend so effortlessly, seamlessly with each other. I just went back in with that crease shade and I just touched up the crease a little bit because it was kind of getting covered up by the other colors. Okay, now I'm going to take Secretive, and I'm not going to be secretive with you guys. I'm going to tell you exactly where I'm going to put it. That was really lame. Putting it under this eye right here, under the lower lash line. I'll be right back. I'm going to go clear away some of this fallout that I have going on, because that aquamarine shade had some fallout and this shade had some fallout, so it's definitely looking like the two shimmers in this palette do have some fallout. The matte shades look like they're pretty good. So I will be right back. Okay, so this palette is definitely throwing off that very like frosty blue 2000s eye makeup kind of look. So some of you might really not be into that. Me, I could wear it all day long. I could rock the metallic lipstick and not give a single. I will be off trend, who cares? Like, honestly, if you're into that. I don't know, it's fun, I like it, but this palette is definitely meant for a particular kind of niche. Like, not everyone is gonna get on with this palette. Like, if you're not into colors, you're not into that like frosty blue eyeshadow look, it's not for you. For me, it's for me, but like I said, this palette is definitely not for everybody. Okay, with that being said, I am going to take the glitter shade. I always save that for last. I always regret it because I do not like the BH Cosmetics glitter. They're just too like, they're not malleable enough. Like, once they're in place, like, they're not going anywhere. So, I mean, they are like really like glittery, but it's just, I don't know, it's not for me personally. Okay. I don't know if you can see that. I mean, it's definitely, you know, it's a glitter. It's there. Ooh, wow. Actually, ooh, wow. It has like a kind of like, tell me you can see that. It kind of has like a fiery pink shift to it. Like, it looks silver in the pan. You just have to take my word for it. I swear it has a shift to it. Okay. Can you see the shadow any better? Okay, that is enough of that. If you are into pressed glitters and you don't mind it on your eyes, I personally do not mind it on my eyes, but if you do not mind pressed glitters, then I think you will really like this shade because that is just, That is unique. That is pretty unique, and I really don't think the camera's doing it justice. Like, I swear it has like an orange pinky shift to it. Okay, whatever. All right, I'm spending too much time trying to show you the shift. Just take my word for it. So the blending is there, the pigment is there, all the good stuff is there. I think this palette just strictly comes down to a matter of preference. Like I said, you see what you get. Like, yeah, you could do something a little bit more brown and a little less blue, I'm sure. But, you know, my guess is if you're looking to get this palette, then you're probably attracted to these two shades right here, and maybe even that shade. Like, I don't think you're probably going to get this palette just for this shade right there. You know what I'm saying? So chances are, if you get this palette, you're probably going to be using these shades in most of your looks. So this is kind of what you get. So you probably can tone it down a little bit, but overall, baby, what you see is what you get. Okay, so there you have it. There's my review. There's not much else to say about this palette. I feel like you saw pretty much all that had to be said. So thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel because I will be doing April's palette very soon when it gets released. I will be doing this series every single month, and be sure to check out my other two palettes that I did in this series, and no, be sure to check out my other two videos I did in this series. I told you I was tired. All right, that's all. Bye.